Welcome into Cuse Countdown on the bench. I'm Scott Grodzki alongside Johnny Mangano. And Johnny, we're going to take a look at this Syracuse team, how it fared last week, and what they have to do going forward. So first things first, obviously a 10-9 loss to the previous worst team in the Big East in Louisville. Not what the Orange was looking for. What went wrong for Syracuse?
Starting off, Scott, I'm going to have to point to Ryan Lichtenstein missing that extra point after the DeLon Carter touchdown. Every point matters in football, and that missed extra point was inexcusable. Another point of emphasis that I'm having concern with is Greg Paulus and the passing game in that Louisville matchup. 12 for 16, yes, he was accurate, but he only threw for 89 yards. Now look at the targets he has to throw to. No Mike Williams in that core after quitting this season. Marcus Sales, Dante Davis, Van Chu have not stepped up for Syracuse. They need that. What did you take away from the game?
Well, the one thing I want to hit on, you talked about it briefly, is the special teams was just atrocious in this one. And it's not just Lichtenstein. Also, you look at the return game. Trent Guy absolutely dominated Syracuse. The defense played great, but it didn't matter when you have a Louisville team starting every possession in Syracuse territory. Guy averaged 40-plus yards per kick return, 20-plus yards per punt return. At some point, you just realize, stop kicking to him.
No, I totally agree with that. Now, along with the negative, you have to take some positive from this loss. The defense played outstanding, 151 yards given up, season low. And Syracuse did not play the full 60 minutes, which is a shame. They played a great game. The final 121 came down to Adam Froman tossing that touchdown. Coach Marone harps on it every week, have to play a full 60 minutes. They didn't, which is disappointing, and they're going to have to do that coming into these next two games, which are quality Big East opponents.
And in these next two games, obviously the idea of depth is going to be a bit of a problem for the Orange. But what do you see going forward? What do you think is going to happen in these next two games?
Oh, I think Syracuse is going to come out hard on every down and play great for Coach Doug Marone. It's just his mentality, and I really think this team will go out and show it. Now, Shamarko Thomas, Phillip Thomas, the youngsters on the defense, I'm really excited to see what they can do going into these next two games. Chandler Jones as well. This defense is surprising. They're young. I'm looking forward to the next few years. These next two games, are a jumping off point for them. Now, Doug Hogue, I'm looking forward to seeing too finish out the season strong. The linebacker switched from running back, and he's made a seamless transition. I think he's played a great season so far, Scott.
And it's a defense that's certainly going to be tested the rest of the year, especially with guys like Art Jones out for the season. What I'm looking forward to, though, Johnny, is to see Ryan Nassib in these games more. I'm thinking at this point, it's about time for him to start getting in now that the team is no longer eligible for a bowl game. Well, that does it for us here on Cuse Countdown on the bench. For Johnny, I'm Scott. Be sure to tune in to Cuse Countdown on Time Warner every Saturday at 10.